Hey everybody, it's Melanie. I'm so excited to be joining Joanne Bartell and some friends for her 2,000 subscribers celebration for YouTube. You can follow Joanne at Joanne Bartell on YouTube and Instagram. Today I'm going to be doing a layout using some Bramble Fox products and some products from my scrapbook.com link. These are the two stencils I'm going to be using for our Bramble Fox. These are dies from scrapbook.com. These are some of my go-to for flowers. I'm going to be using some of the scrapbook.com cardstocks to cut the flowers with, and I did cut the flowers off screen, so you didn't have to watch all of that. But these colors are beautiful for spring and summer florals. I'm going to be using some pictures from my garden, and I'm going to start with some just plain cardstock, and here's the flowers, and that's a memento die for the flowers. Those are the Sprigs. This one's the Sprigs dies from scrapbook.com, and I'll have all the links in there. And the next one is Delicate Leaves, and I did cut those all ahead of time. This is the stencil Flower and Leaves from Bramble Fox. I'm kind of addicted to this stencil right now. I'm just going to put my picture, I'm not using a lot of pattern paper on this layout. I'm going to put a square down where I feel like my pictures are going to go. Since I'm using the 3 pictures, I'm going to kind of stack them. And that way I know where I need to stencil. And I kind of end up covering up a lot of it. But I'm starting with, I think that was mustard seed, but I could be wrong. And I'm just going to do some stenciling of both sides of those flowers around. And I'm going to pull out some pink. That is the Kitsch Flamingo. And I am not cleaning my stencil in between because I don't care if these colors blend. These colors are okay to blend. So I'm just going to randomly put these, and then we're going to layer the other flowers on top of them when we get there. Here I'm going to layer that one, and it makes a really pretty corally orange color there. So I wasn't mad about that. So I'm going to add a few more of those, and I'm just kind of overlapping them where part of the color overlaps and part just kind of makes a new flower. Here I'm going to pull out one of the oranges, and honestly, I can't remember what colors they were. If I can go back and figure out the colors, I will post them in the comment. I know it's Kitsch Flamingo. I know it's Scattered Straw. I can't remember the other one. It's one of the oranges. I can't remember. So anyways, just going to layer up some of those all around. And then we're going to move on to some leaves in just a second. But this stencil really is pretty and versatile, and I love that you can build those flowers if you want to, and do like 3 different colors with the 3 different size flowers and build you some flowers too. Need to try that one day and then cut them out and give them some dimension. That's a thought I just had when I'm talking to y'all. So there's the colors there. Just can't see the orange one. And so I'm going to put that one up, and the next one I'm going to get out is this one, and I'm going to use the 3 different shades of greens. I think this one's called Leaves. I've got it linked for y'all, and I showed it in the beginning. So when I do my leaves with the Distress Oxide, I like to combine the colors. It gives them a little more depth. So here I'm going to use just a Post-it note to kind of block off where I don't want to get ink, or like that's attached to another one, and I just want to make sure that I'm kind of blocking it and I don't get it. So I'm just kind of adding that on. And remember, my picture is going to go on top of this, and those die cut flowers and leaves are going to go on top of it. But I want to be as precise as I can when I can. So I'm just going to block this off and just continue on with a couple of shades of green to put some leaves around those flowers. Okay, I finished with the leaves, and we're going to start. I'm going to cut my pictures there, and this is some Pebbles Kid at Heart collection, and the colors just matched with my pictures. So I'm going to layer my pictures on there. I did 2 layers, one with the yellow paper and then one with the stripe, and I put it on my sewing machine, and I just sewed around the whole rectangle and then in between the 2 pictures, and then I distressed the edges just to give it some more texture. And I'm going to put some foam tape on that and pop it up and put it where the white space is in between where we did all the stenciling. So just kind of want to rough it up just for dimension. There's all the foam tape, and I love foam tape. If you don't use it, you should try it. So I'm going to stick that right in the middle of those. Okay, Okay, so now we have the pictures down, and I'm just going to start grabbing a lot of those flowers that we die cut. Some I use whole, some I cut in half, and I'm gonna speed it up a little bit here in a minute, but I ended up just layering them. I layer them all over the flowers and leaves that we had used the stencils and the distress oxide with. I do make sure I kind of get the most of the little cutouts out, and I try and squeeze the flowers in the middle and kind of just curl the edges up just to give it a little bit more dimension. And I just use wet glue to put those down once I get them kind of situated in their spot that I want them to do. And I was trying to go a little tone on tone, and then I didn't like how that looked. So I'm just swapping up the different styles of flowers, trying to do them in like 3 sections: the top left, the little mid to lower right, and then the bottom left corner, just to kind of keep I don't know, they say a visual triangle, but I just followed that. And then I add in a bunch of the leaves. I just think you can add leaves and flowers to most anything. I did cut some of them in just a white, just to give it some dimension without having an added color. So I'm going to add a lot of those in there, and then we're not going to have a whole lot left to do after we put the flowers on. Okay, so I took my beautiful title there. It's a perspective from the Bramble Fox store. It's a beautiful acrylic title and just a very pale pink. And I'm going to take it has like a protective cover on the front, sometimes on the back. I'm going to make sure I take that off, and I'm going to use some wet glue and put that title down. I did use some letters out of my stash and put Blooms, and I'm going to put the beautiful word on top of that. I used a little ruler and just made sure that the Blooms font was as straight as it could be. Now I'm just going to add this beautiful perspective from Bramble Fox on top of the Blooms. And when you're using wet glue, hold it down for just a second, because you know it needs to adhere to what you're doing. So that was Glossy Accents that I used. I'm going to grab some of the Kitsch Flamingo and put it on just some of the wrapper. I don't know if y'all just heard that. My dog just took the biggest sigh he's in my lap while I'm doing this. Took some of the Kitsch Flamingo, sprayed it with some water, got just a medium-sized paintbrush, and I'm just going to do some just little flecks, splatters of that pink, just the top left, top left, bottom right. Not a whole lot, just a little bit to add just a little more interest to it. I love adding those. So there's that portion of it, and we're just about done. I wanted something to go inside the flowers, and I don't know where these are from, and you can see it in the close-up. They're just these little floral, like what are those things called? Enamel dots. Like a little floral but flat enamel dot. And I'm just doing tone on tone, and they ended up matching the flowers perfectly. And I just put them in the center of a couple of the larger flowers, and you really can't tell right here in the video, but you can tell in the close-ups. It's just added a little bit more. So just about finished. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure and follow my friend Joanne Bartell, and as we celebrate her having 2,000 followers on her YouTube channel. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, hit that bell so you'll get notifications, and follow along in my crafty journey. Here's some close-ups. You can shop in the Bramble Fox store to get a lot of these things. You can also check out my link with scrapbook.com and leave me a message if you have any questions. And lastly, don't forget to check out my friend Joanne Bartell. Check out her Instagram and over here on YouTube. You will love her videos. Thanks again for watching. Happy 2000, Joanne. Bye.